There's only one 126-pounder in the world. There's only one man with the twitch that can clean out the 126-pound division. What's up, baby? It's Joey El Gallo, and I'm here with Tommy, the Genie, the Fight Genie, the only Fight Genie that is going to taste defeat at 126. You listen to Loaded Gloves. We're broadcasting live and direct from the Loaded Glove Studios in Lower Manhattan, baby. We are blowing up thanks to Knucklehead Nation. All our boxing fans that follow us online all over the world. And now the Philippines, baby. God, I want to go to the Philippines. There's a lot of hot 126-pound Filipino girls that I want to taste. It's Joey El Gallo. What's up?
Who's defeated?
We're going to talk about 126.
How am I getting defeated by a twitchy homeless man? Because that's basically, you said there's one guy with a twitch.
I'm going to talk about 126. This show is all about 126. What is going on? The Birds of a Feather division.
What?
The Featherweight division. Birds of a Feather.
Might be the best division in boxing.
126, baby. I'm Joey El Gallo. You're listening to Loaded Gloves. Broadcasting from the Loaded Glove Studios in Lower Manhattan, 126. Turn down those lights for me. There we go. I want to talk to everyone about the featherweight division. 126. WBO champion.
There is only one good 126-pounder, and his name is Carl the Jackal Frampton, making his debut.
If you notice that the junior featherweight, the birds of a feathers move between 122 and 126.
That's why it's the best two weight classes.
There's two belts that are now vacant at 122. The IBF and WBA that were once the Mamptons, Carl Framptons, the Jackal. Now we're talking about 126 pounds, baby. The WBO champ is the one and only Vasyl Lomachenko.
He's a beast. The
IBF champion is the one and only Lee Selby.
Ooh.
The WBA man with the twitch. Ugh. The man that will clean out and unify the 126-pound division. Leo El Terremoto.
What?
Santa Cruz. And the WBC has no slouch. Gary Russell Jr. That's it, baby.
That's a hell of a crew of fighters right there. That's scary.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, and now Frampton making his debut.
So, Frampton's moving up in the 126. That is where the action is at. Forget the welterweights.
It's starting to pay, too, where welterweights was the only ones that paid. Those guys are getting paid.
I love it, baby. I absolutely love it. The 126-pound division. Who do you got, baby? Lomachenko, Selby, Santa Cruz, Gary Russell Jr.'s, and Carl Frampton. Realistically, how do you see this division shaking out?
Well, Russell never fights. He wins a title, then he takes a year off. So I love Gary Russell. I did a little video on our Loaded Gloves Facebook page about Gary Russell, which no one liked.
I was going to tell you.
It was our least liked. But I like Gary Russell, so I'll push him aside just because of inactivity, because I don't think he's going to be active enough.
I agree.
As a Mampton.
Straight men for Carl Frampton.
Thank you. As a Mampton, I fear of those fighters Lomachenko. Because, and I'm not knocking Twitchy. Yeah, I'm not
Leo
knocking
Santa
Twitchy.
Cruz,
I'm not
he has
notching,
the twitch.
Yeah, I'm not notching.
Who will expose the twitch?
I'm not knocking Twitchy, but he can get hit. And all the other guys in that weight class, they move. They all specialize in footwork and speed, like Lomachenko, Russell. Selby's super fast. Those guys all move around, spin around. They're like dancers. The one guy's a twitcher. There's twitchers and dancers. I think Santa Cruz is exposable. He got pummeled by Kiko Martinez.
Okay. The ref didn't call it, but that was a knockdown. Kiko Martinez knocked
down
the twitch, Leo Santa Cruz.
So that's why I think but I fear Lomachenko. Because he's just...
he's a man on a mission.
And he wants everyone. He's saying, after I beat you, I will beat this guy. And then after I beat that guy, I will beat this guy and unify. So he's the guys that we like that won't dodge anybody. Frampton is being accused of a dodger. He's not dodging. He had a
No.
lot of trouble making weight for the Quig fight.
Yep.
And you can see when he was fighting, he had trouble. But he made the Quig fight, and that was the fight that everybody thought he was dodging. He made that fight. Frampton fought Kiko Martinez way better than Leo Santa Cruz fought Kiko Martinez. Santa Cruz
Kiko showed up by
Santa
himself.
Cruz got nicked up by Kiko, the dynamite. Well, I don't know what his
He
nickname
just came
is.
over from Spain by himself.
By himself with one ticket. He was his own
No
sponsor.
training.
He wasn't Kiko Fresh Mart. He was just Kiko, and I'll tell you what, Frampton got nicked up. So I fear Lomachenko. I think a Lomachenko-Frampton is what I don't want to see. I still think the Mampton, the Jackal, is going to beat the Twitch.
No way.
An animal beats a Twitch.
No
Jackals.
way. No way. I see.
We're going to be sitting next to each other at the Barclays Center at that one.
That's amazing that it's going to be in New York.
My guy
baby.
against your guy. The winner buys a beer garita. Or loser buys
All right, Knucklehead Nation. Now, Joey El Gallo is going to talk about the featherweight division, 126.
His
Leo
hands
Santa.
twitching. Your hands twitching already.
Everybody knows about Leo Santa Cruz and his Twitch. Nobody in that division, other than Lomachenko, will expose the Twitch. So I have Leo Santa Cruz beating Carl
we kind of
Frampton.
forgot Selby, but
Yeah, well, see, this is how I have him. I have Leo Santa Cruz beating Carl Frampton, retaining the WBA. I see Leo Santa Cruz dodging Lomachenko.
yes.
But if they were to fight, I got Lomachenko in that. So right now, I've got Lomachenko, then Santa Cruz. Then it's a toss-up between Russell, Frampton, and Selby.
Like I said, I throw out Russell because I just don't think he's
throw
going to
him
be
out.
active enough. Selby doesn't have enough power, and those guys
Yes.
can all pop.
Yeah, I think
Selby's great. He's fast. We did something on Selby too, and that got a lot of likes. The British fans came out for that one, but he's not fit.
what a division, man.
He can't punch.
What a division.
And there's more guys in that division. There's some Japanese guy coming up that's good. There's a Mexican.
You got
kid coming
Jesus Cuellar.
Cuellar,
You
yeah.
got Carlos Zambrano. You got Oscar
Actually,
Escandon.
Cuellar doesn't have some form of some belt.
He's got the WBA interim.
All right, so I used to be an intern. They don't pay you for that.
Are you kidding me?
It's like a non-paying boxing job. Oh, I know. It's interim, not intern, but it's like, it's the same thing. You get no
You didn't
money
get
when
paid
you're
for appearances.
Yeah. You don't get money when you're the interim champion. That's basically somebody saying, here's a belt until you lose it. But I love Cuellar, though. That fight's coming up, too,
Yeah.
against your boy, Abnamaras.
Oh, that's in Brooklyn, too,
Who
baby.
says he learned so much in that Santa Cruz fight that he thinks he could now beat Santa Cruz if he fought him again. I don't think he showed enough to beat him.
I think I would love to see
That's at Brooklyn, yeah. That's on
Abner
the
Mars. Yeah.
Porter Thurman undercard.
Great fight, Porter Thurman.
We'll get to that weight class.
All right, so after that, that's the birds of a feather that fly between 122 and 126. We're going to jump up now. We talked about the lightweights, 135. We talked about Crolla and Rantis Bartholomew and Flanagan.
Oh, we didn't talk about but Richard Kami, my Ghana fighter. He gets the winner of that Bartholomew Bay fight.
Really?
He's going to be the champ.
I would love to see
Kami
that.
from Ghana will be the champ.
That would be
Yes.
a great story.
And we love Rancis, though. Don't knock in Rancis, but
Biggest fight at 140 right now coming down the pike is Terrence Crawford versus Postal unification fight.
Yes.
Who do you got?
I haven't drawn a blank in a while, but
You're killing me.
Terrence
today.
Crawford's impressive. Like
He hasn't fought anybody.
He fought Hammer and Hank, but
Wasn't he your arch? Didn't you fight with Lundy on?
we made up though. I gave him credit. I don't know. I'm afraid of him. But I like. I don't know, man.
And there's
Postal's
this Russian
so good.
Edward Trotsky that I told you
yes.
that I thought I discovered.
Joey discoveed a 38-year-old journeyman fighter from Russia that never left the country or something.
So Postal Crawford.
I like Postal.
You
I'm
like
gonna say
Postal in that
say
fight?
Postal just because no one's gonna pick Postal. Because Crawford's getting, the next Mayweather talk like Spence is. So I'd like to see Crawford Spence, man. If Crawford ever goes up to 147, that would be a great fight.
I mean, 147, bam, you got Vargas, WBO, who
You
beat
can't
our
even-
boy Saddam Ali.
Yeah.
You got Kell Brook, the IBF. You got Thurman, WBA, and you get Garcia, WBC. Out of that division right there, at
And-
147,
And guys
okay.
that aren't even listed.
Right. Let's just enough
By the way,
of the
there's-
BS with 147.
We did pass one guy. I just want to mention because I never mentioned him on the show, and I always remember that at 140, and he will be fighting at 147 soon. Antonio Orozco from Mexico. I love him. That's it. Move on.
Okay, I got one more 140 shout out, Cletus.
Cletus the Hammer.
The
Yeah, the
Hammer
Hebrew Hammer.
himself?
Yes,
Yeah.
Cletus. He's number 6 in the WBC, undefeated.
All right, so
Probably the highest knockout percentage, too, in 140.
let's cut out the BS right now in the welterweight division. We got Vargas, WBO, Brook, IBF, Thurman, WBA, WBC, Danny Garcia. We got a huge fight in Brooklyn. You got Keith one-time Thurman versus Showtime Sean Porter.
That's a tough.
And I got to tell you what, to me, Kell Brook and Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah.
are the class of the 147 division.
Yeah. I mean, we love Porter and we love his dad.
Yeah.
But I almost don't want him to win because I like the fact that Thurman already said, when I beat Porter, I will not dodge Brook. I want Kell Brook. So I'd like to see Keith Thurman against Kell Brook. That would be badass. Listen,
Yeah.
what belt does Cherry have?
Cherry's got the WBC. He beat
Cherry
Guerrero
Garcia's
for
got
it
the
on
WBC,
PBC.
so we'll just ignore him because he's not going to fight. Who's he calling
We
out
all knew
again?
Garcia's going to fight Mayweather, and it's going to be, for the boxing enthusiasts, if you're a real fan, you know that's a BS fight.
Well, last night he was really saying that he is 50-50 about to sign that Conor McGregor thing. He really is saying that.
Really?
He said it on the Showtime card that he's really 50. He's completely serious. He said everything's been decided except the venue and the money. And he said, but unfortunately, even he thinks the money might be the issue. But let's skip Mayweather. We don't need to talk about it. But that 147, and now you got Khan back
Spence.
down.
Yeah, you got Khan back. I love 147.
Yeah,
They're
Saddam Ali
boxing-
still will be relevant too. I mean, he lost
Yep.
one fight. He'll be Jesse Vargas too. Bradley. You got
Bradley,
everybody.
I mean, I just think
That's a money
top
weight
of
class.
that is Kell. Yeah, it's a money weight. Kell Brook and I got Errol Spence, man.
I agree with you.
And
on
Errol
both of them.
Spence got a tough fight coming up. We were talking about it this morning at the coffee shop.
Pomeranov.
Yeah.
He's good. Got no knockout power, but Spence is real.
All right,
I didn't
let's-
want to admit it, but Spence is real.
We weren't sure.
Yeah,
Because he
Spence
looked
is-
crisp. We saw a lot of his fights. He looked crisp. He looked
I thought he
good.
was a PBC hype job like the other light heavyweight who shall not be mentioned. But Marcus
good.
Brown, but yeah, he's good. He's fast, strong. God, he's good.
All
Him
right.
against Kell Brook would be beautiful. In England.
154, you got your boy Liam Smith, WBO.
Liam Beefy Smith.
You got Jamal Charlo, IBF.
Yeah, both Charlos are fighting next week, I think, or next month for a title for both of them.
Yeah, that's May 21st. They're fighting.
Lara?
He's fighting Laura.
He's
rematch.
Yeah.
And you got Lara as a WBA, who I really like Lara. He got robbed on the Canelo fight. He should have won or at least a draw. And
definitely.
the WBC's vacant for the 154. That Canelo should really be fighting at 154.
Where's Andrade?
But I think
He's
Boo Boo-
154
Boo Boo's-
something.
Is he? I thought he was middleweight. Maybe he's 154.
He's 154, I think.
But that's gonna shake down because Canelo's gonna be cherry picking from. Canelo's basically looking at what's happening at 135.
No, he's not.
140, 147, and
Canelo wants to
154.
fight knockout Freshmart. That one.
160. All right, we're just gonna rip through these real quick. 160, the middleweights. WBO, Billy Joe Sanders. Triple G, IBF. WBA, Canelo, WBC.
I'd like to see Eubanks at 160 fight Triple G.
Then you got Danny Jacobs as the WB regular, so he's
looking.
He's going to have to fight Triple G if that fight doesn't get made
Yeah,
with
he's
Canelo.
mandatory, right? Yeah, he's the mandatory of the
And I
Canelo
hope he
fight.
gets knocked
Who, Danny?
out. Yeah, I can't stand Danny.
Why? He's hometown.
I don't care. I don't like this regular. He walks around with that belt like he never talks Triple G. Never.
Because he had the setup fight made for him, the Quillen thing where he was.
That was a great
he
fight.
happened-
That was
yeah,
a great round.
Yeah, one round. It was a great round though.
Super middleweight, you got Ramirez just grabbed the WBO title.
Yes.
I'm still not crazy about Ramirez. You got IBF, you got DeGale, who I'm not a fan of. He should have lost that fight, his last fight. You got Felix Sturm, the WBA.
Isn't he like 103?
103 years old.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
And then you got Badu Jack, who actually is not a bad guy.
He seems like a great guy, man. He got robbed.
Yeah.
He got robbed.
He got a draw, but the DeGale Badu Jack fight is happening, and that may happen over in England. It may happen because Badu Jack said,
I don't know.
I'm going where the money's at.
I'm trying to figure out how the English feel about DeGale. They don't talk about him a lot. They don't.
I don't like his antics in the ring.
I don't at all. Sticking his tongue out and stuff. Horrible.
Now we get to the big boys. My favorite fighter right now is the mean Sergey Kovalev, man. He is a savage. I love him.
And he's got good gear.
Oh, he's got him awesome.
Crusher gear is good. He's got nice snapbacks. Shout out to crusher.com, whatever the hell his website is.
Yeah, I know. I always forward you the
I know.
email.
And now it's like stuck in my feed. Every website I go to, it says, did you forget to remove your Crusher hats from checkout? I'm like, no, I never clicked on anything. But it's great.
Crusher's got the WBO, IBF, WBA. Adonis has a WBC.
Yeah, whatever. Forget that. What's with the WBC? Danny Garcia and Adonis. It's like the two cherry pickers.
I don't know what to do. I mean, I really love Kovalev, and I can't wait for that Ward fight. They were talking about Ward fighting. He's got one more fight before the November clash with Kovalev. Throw him in with Birbitov.
Yeah, you know what? He's back, though. Isn't he fighting? You send me a link.
Birbitov.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they said that could, they won't risk putting Andre Ward in with Birbitov, but
he's back though. He was hurt. We love him.
Yeah,
nobody knows about
good.
him. He's 9-0 with 9 brutal knockouts or something like. It's crazy. Like he just destroys your head.
Then we got the heavyweights.
Well, you forgot.
Well,
at light heavyweight, we have a local boy making something. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Yeah.
Nice local, a good friend of ours, our show and us.
You listen to Loaded Gloves, broadcasting from the Loaded Gloves studios in Lower Manhattan, Knucklehead Nation. We want to tell you about a fighter. Tommy the Genie's going to tell you about a guy that right now has basically gotten written off as a construction worker who slaps on the gloves once in a while.
Yeah, by our horrible ESPN online.
So,
listen, I love ESPN, but when they write about boxing, it's so one-sided. It's so,
we want to talk about Irish Joe Smith Jr. fighting out of Long Island.
Yep.
The Paramount Star
Shirley.
Boxing.
Yep.
Shirley. This kid is a beast. Listen, we don't know. He's got a fight coming up against Fonfara.
Yep. In Chicago, in Fonfara's backyard. And it just doesn't sound like this is one of those things where boxers always say, don't look ahead. I think Fonfara is looking ahead, and I think he's going to get hurt.
I'm putting money down on Smith.
He's going to get hurt. Smith's going to pummel him.
The kid's a real deal. And,
he hits like a sledgehammer. And ESPN, I just want to give you some credit to your lack of journalistic instincts. To say that he's like a nobody construction worker. If you did some research, you'd see that he beat Shawnee Monahan in amateurs. And Shawnee Monahan is holding some random belt somewhere right now. And I'm sure if Fonfara was fighting Shawnee Monahan, you would say it's a great fight. Right. But being that you did no research, and maybe you should realize the only loss on Joe Smith's record, he had a broken jaw. So do some research.
They're basically saying it's a tune-up.
Me and Joey might actually find some money and bet on it. We're going to go.
We may Amtrak it. We're going to take Amtrak.
We may do gloves on a train. That's our new... We may take a 20-hour train ride just so we can report from the train.
We love local fighters. We love this guy, Irish Joe Smith, from Long Island, fighting out of the Paramount. Club fighter, as ESPN said.
As ESPN said, a local club fighter.
Every guy gets
Meanwhile, the
break.
Paramount's been on ESPN, which makes no sense.
Friday Night Fights was there.
Yeah, more than once. So you got ESPN calling him a club fighter, saying he's only fought in this little local arena. Meanwhile, ESPN and Teddy Atlas have both covered fights at the Paramount, so shut up.
There's more fans at the Paramount for Joe Smith fights that were at the DeGale and Badu Jack fight in Washington, D.C.
100%.
The TMT promotion. There was no one there. The Paramount packs out the place. There's more people at the Paramount than at that freaking
Yeah, I wish Showbox
TMT
would actually
card.
do something there. That'd be
That
a
would
good
be
little
nice,
good
yeah.
venue for them. They do little arenas and they pack them out, and that would be a nice place. That place is
I think
electric.
if you got Cletus Selden there,
The Cletus will
you
be
got-
done.
and you got Joe Smith fighting there, that would be a nice Showbox card,
Be a great Showbox
right?
card.
You could get
They're gonna-
Algieri back at the Paramount.
No, we're not going to get Jerry Beckett. They have other guys that are coming up. But, yeah, he's a big puncher. Probably one of the higher knockout ratios at light
Good,
heavy.
man.
He's strong. He's going to... And then ESPN wrote something like, that Fanfara, the big puncher. Look, I'm not even getting on that article. Fanfara, listen, however that fight goes, Fanfara is going to remember who hit him.
Good. And Fanfara can be hit. He's like one of the Walking Dead guys.
Him and Cleverly just stood there like they
not so cleverly.
Yeah, it looked like they were doing the waltz, but punching each other while dancing is what it looked like.
All right, guys. You're listening to the Loaded Gloves. We're broadcasting from the Loaded Glove Studios in Lower Manhattan. Shout out to the new Knucklehead Nation of the Philippines. We love all the interaction. You guys are great. We have to find a better translator app, but we love you anyway.
Yes.
Thanks to all our fans all over the place. Big fights coming up in New York. Big fights coming up in Vegas. Big fights in the welterweight division. In the birds of a feather divisions, there's a lot of stuff. The heavyweight division's finally shaking up.
Cameroon.
My favorite nation, Cameroon. Carlos Takam's fighting soon.
Fighting Parker.
A lot of big stuff coming up, guys. So thank you to the fighters. Thank you to the Knucklehead Nation. We love you. May 21st on Showtime in Vegas. Lara versus Vans Martirosyan rematch. You got the Charlos. You got Jamal fighting Austin Trout. You got Jermell fighting John Jackson. You got Beirut Shumanov. You got BJ Flores.
No, skip him.
And then that same day, you got Wilder versus Povetkin. Is that fight still on, Tommy?
Yes.
Still on.
There's too much money too close to the fight.
Also, on Unimas, you got Raimundo Beltran coming back on the 21st versus Ivan Nakara.
He's good, Nahara.
Yeah, I mean, it's about to crank up, boys, so get ready. May 25th, Beijing, China.
Oh.
I'm not Ruin Wrong versus Jean-Riel Casemiro. How the heck are we going to watch that fight? Our boy Amnat's fighting.
Somebody will stream it.
Hey, listen to this. May 27th.
What is that, a Wednesday?
We can drive up to Niagara Falls. There's fights. CBS Sportsnet.
Oh.
Niagara Falls. Jarrell Miller versus Nick Cuevas.
Yeah, we'll skip the
All right, let's skip down here. Shoot. Wow. May 28th. Shane Mosley's back in the ring.
Yeah. Yep. Listen, I like you, Shane. That's all I have to say.
All right, guys. Loaded Gloves. Broadcasting from the Loaded Glove Studios in Lower Manhattan. We'll be back soon. Knucklehead Nation. Stay up. Work hard. We love you. Save a kitten. Save a stray.